Welcome to day 47 of the weight loss journey. I was able to go to church this morning and to go to Sunday school. I did get to teach Sunday school this morning. I just wasn't that good at it. I don't know. Need to study more, and I know that I'm going to have to do more than what I'm doing, because it's not exactly the way I want it to be. And so I'm going to have to do better. And I did have some problems while I was in church, but, it was just like a vision thing. The vision got kind of blurry there for a few minutes, but I did enjoy the sermon. Brother Huffman did really well. I enjoyed it. He did a really good job. Y'all should have heard it. And he made some really good points. And it's like he told one of the other members, they said it was a really good sermon. He says, well, now you got to go out and apply it. Well, that's true. You have to apply what you learn as far as sermons and stuff like that. I mean, you just don't just go out and forget what you've learned, Of course, you may not do everything that you learn. You may not do it everything, but what he talked about today was really, really important, that you really needed to learn and to apply it to your life. Live your life like Jesus would, That's basically it. Make your life a witness, so when people see you, they'll see Jesus, because that's half the battle. A lot of people don't even go to church. They don't even darken the doors. They don't read their Bibles, and you may be the only thing that they see. And Lord, forgive me, I'm a poor example, but it's true, People do watch what you do and what you say. And I trip and I fall. I mean, I tell everybody, don't look at me, I ain't super Christian. I am not the super Christian everybody thinks I might be. No. I stumble, I fall, I make mistakes. But I get up, I ask forgiveness, and I go on. I don't go back to where I was. And that's one of those things, you think about it. Yep, lost myself there just for a second. You think about it. You really, really think about it. If you're going back to where you were, what's the use? I don't want to go back to where I came from. I know how I was. I was awful. I was somebody nobody wanted to be around. I hate to admit it, but I was a drunk. And when I drank, I did things I shouldn't have done. And I had gotten to the point, I didn't even think God would even have me back the way I acted, But I went back, and I got back, and he came where I was at. He met me where I was at that particular point in my life. And it was an awful place. And it was a place I never would have thought I would have wound up. I never would have thought in a million years I'd have been like that. But that's the devil. That's what the devil does for you. But then God will come by and he'll scoop you up in his loving arms and he'll change you. And I thank God every day that I'm not that person that I was years and years and years and years ago. And some people will come by and say, well, I remember when you did this. Well, I don't. And God doesn't. So why bring it up? Because that's covered under the blood. Alright, I'm off my soapbox tonight as far as that. But I'm just saying, God will meet you where you're at. You don't have to clean it up and take it to church. He'll come where you at and clean you up. Then you can take it to church. And there was a many a day that's like I told somebody here a while back. There was a many a day that I was so out there still doing everything I was doing, but yet I'd go to church. Well, that's called a hypocrite. That's what I was. I was a hypocrite too. Because I took it up. I dressed it up like I thought I was something and went to church when I wasn't nothing but a dirty, rotten sinner. But that's the way it is. God comes and he meets you where you're at. And he loves you. And he wants to help you. And he wants you to come to him. And he wants you to love him. And he will clean up your mess, honey. He will clean it up, and you won't even know all that. You won't even remember all that. But a lot of it, I don't even remember. Somebody said, well, I remember you did that. I'm like, well, really? I don't remember that. Because I don't. It's just a blank. And it's just, that's God. God knows what you need. He knows what you've been through. He knows what you need in your heart, in your mind. You just got to trust him. You got to read his word, and you got to follow him. And, that goes on Sundays. I got a phone call today. And that lady that called, she wasn't unkind, but she wasn't very nice. And I honestly thought that bill collectors could not call on a Sunday and ask you for money and saying if you don't do this, this, and this, we're gonna foreclose. And you're like, well, honey, you're just gonna have to, because I don't have the money. And I kept trying to tell her that, and she didn't realize, that hey, I couldn't do nothing. I can't do anything. But they were sitting there. She was really judgmental, and she was really getting to the point. She was really getting to the other end of the spectrum, not being very kind. And I kept trying to be nice. Well, needless to say, one of my children, I ain't gonna name names, but grabbed the phone and politely told the woman not to call back, and said a few other unplain syllables that I will not repeat, but did tell that woman off and told her never to call back, and said, and she kept asking who he was, and who is this, and he said, you don't worry about who this is my phone, you don't call my phone. And then we found out that by Alabama law, you're not supposed to be able to call and solicit on Sundays. You're not supposed to do that. Any kind of bill collecting, anything collection wise, you're not supposed to do that on Sunday. It's Alabama law. But obviously they didn't realize that. But anyway, I'm hoping she won't call back, because like I told her, I was nice, and I told her, look, I can't help it. You just got to do what you got to do, because I ain't got it. It's like Grandma always said, you can't get blood out of a turnip. You might can take a turnip, but you can't get blood out of the turnip, But that's just the way the world is now. That's how, used to, on Sunday, businesses didn't even open. I still remember on a Sunday where business was closed. You couldn't buy anything on Sunday, no matter what it was. It was the blue laws. That was the South. It was the blue laws. You didn't buy a drink. You didn't buy ice cream. You didn't go out to eat. You didn't do anything on a Sunday, but you went to church. You went home and you had your Sunday dinner at home. You might, if you were lucky, you got a nap, and then you went back to church on Sunday night. That was your Sunday. And that used to be the way the Southern people did it. And you had a nice dinner. You may have had, usually Sundays were your best dinners. You'd have like roast or fried chicken or chicken and dumplings or chicken and dressing. That was your Sunday dinner. That along with some vegetables, usually fried, or with bacon, all good stuff in it. But that's the way it was in the South. And a lot of people don't realize that. And it was more laid back. It was more family oriented. And I think we need to get back to that, But that's just me. But, people who work on Sundays don't get to spend much time with their families. And really, Sunday should be family time. But that's my opinion. That's my other soapbox. And I'm going to get off of it. And y'all have a good night. And God bless y'all. And just be safe tomorrow, today, tonight. Be safe. And have a great night. And have a great tomorrow. Bye-bye.